Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Algebra. And today we're going to start the first episode where we're in kind of the meat of the algebra, actually. And today we're going to talk about equations. Equations, to be simply put, are two expressions combined together by an equal sign. Okay, so that's the general gist of what an equation is. It's just some expressions that have been combined together by an equal sign. And what that means is that each side of this equation is equal to each other. Okay, now um, let's do an example just so I can kind of show you what I mean by that. So in the first one down here, our first example, we have x plus 3 equals 8. So we know that whatever x is, plus 3 has to be equal to 8. So how do we actually solve this equation? So when you're in algebra, you're going to be asked to solve them. Okay? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to have to use some of our knowledge from before. If you remember, well, I haven't actually taught you this, but we're going to learn it right now. Whenever you're doing any kind of solving in algebra, okay, you're going to have to move stuff from one side of the equation to the other. Because when you solve an equation, you're trying to get x all by itself. You want to know what x is, so you want to have x is equal to something, okay? Now to do that, you have to move things over to the other side. So in this one, you've got x plus 3 is equal to 8, so you need to move this 3 over here. Well, how do we do that? Well, what we do is we're going to do the exact opposite of what this number is. This is a plus 3, so we're going to subtract this 3. Okay, we subtract it. And then what we also have to do is subtract the other side as well. So we're going to do the exact same amount. Okay, by doing this, we're kind of balancing the scales. Okay, so we've subtracted 3 from this side, we have to subtract 3 from this side as well. Now, if we do that, we're going to get x over here because these guys cancel out. And then 8 minus 3 is 5. All right, and so now we know that x is 5, right? 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, and that's how you solve an algebraic equation. Don't worry, that was a pretty simple one. We're going to do more complex ones as well, in case you're like, well, of course I could do that one. That one's not that bad, right? Let's do this one too. So now this time we have a minus in here. We've got x minus 2 is equal to 10. So if we've got something like that, what we're going to need to do is the opposite. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. Okay, that cancels this out, so we just have x over here. And then 10 plus 2 is 12. So that'll be the answer to that one. 12 minus 2 is 10. Oh, Mike, that's another easy one. I can do those on my homework, but I need to help more up with more complex ones. Okay, well, that's not a problem. I've got more complex ones for you. I'm not going to leave you out in the cold. Okay, sometimes these equations takes more than just one thing, right? You're not just going to be subtracting or adding in every single one. Okay, so this time we've got more to do. Let's start with the one on the left here. We've got 2x plus 6 is equal to 16. And we're going to start by doing the adding and subtracting again. A nice helpful thing to think about when you're solving equations is that you should do the opposite of order of operations. Instead of multiplying first, you should do the subtracting and adding first. That's going to really help you out in the long run. So here we've got a plus 6, so I'm going to have to subtract it from both sides. Okay, these cancel, and I get 2x is equal to 10. Awesome. Now at this point, we've never actually had to do anything with multiplication or division before, but it's the same thing that we did with adding and subtracting. We're going to do the opposite that we normally would do. So since this is a multiplication, 2 times x, we're going to divide it. So we'll divide by 2 on both sides. These 2's cancel, and we get x is equal to 5. And that's our answer. X is equal to 5. We've solved the problem for x. Let's do the other one. We've got 4x minus 2, and that's equal to 46. So we'll do that again. Remember, we got to do adding and subtracting first. So we're going to add. Okay, we add to both sides. We get 4x, and then that, like I already tried to write down, is 48. And now we've got another multiplication, so we're going to do some division. So we divide by 4 and divide by 4, and that makes x equal to 12. All right, so equations, remember, are just expressions that are tied together by an equal sign, and that makes those two expressions equal to each other. And we can solve equations by isolating the variable. So in this case, right, the variable has been x each time, but it can be a different variable. It's not like x is exclusive, right? You can use y or z or m or s or whatever letter you want. You can even make up your own symbol. It doesn't matter as long as you're solving for the variable, okay? And remember, when we're solving, we're going to move things around in the equation by doing the opposite thing to them, okay? In the next video after this, I'm going to give you some more practice examples so you can see different types of things you might see in equations, and we're going to keep them pretty simple and straightforward for the most part. Later on, we'll do more advanced equations and we'll do a little bit more difficult things, but for right now, we're just going to stick with the basics. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're getting something out of this algebra class and that it's actually helping you. Feel free to like and subscribe so that you know when my new videos come out and you can see what's happening on the channel. I do more than just math. I do science, I do history, and I'm trying to do some writing and reading stuff, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. I'm only one man. Hope you're enjoying it. See you later.